Alright, so we're going to be analyzing another game between 900s. If you're around that ELO range, I think you can definitely improve your chess skills by watching this video, because I'll be going over some moves and analyzing them a little bit, and maybe they will help you in your own chess games. So we have e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and d4, which is the Scotch game. This is actually a really good opening. You just open the center right away, and the best move for black here is to take with a pawn, and then you could either take back your pawn with a knight, which is the normal Scotch, or you could even play bishop c4, which is what I play, and it's called the Scotch Gambit. Would highly recommend that if you're looking for a nice aggressive opening for white. Yeah, black, however, did not take the pawn and supported their center with the f pawn. This is not a good move. You generally don't want to defend your center with the f pawn because you're already opening a line in front of your king. And the best move here is to just take. It's to just take and then play bishop c4, maybe castles, knight g5 targeting f7, and you're going to have a very nice game taking advantage of this weak diagonal around the king. Okay, but white did not take, and instead we have d5, which is actually a fine move. Attacks the knight. The knight actually doesn't even have that many squares to move to. If it moves to a5, it's actually just almost trapped. It can't go here, it can't go here, can't go to here and here. b4 doesn't quite work because the bishop is covering that square. Black is going to have a uncomfortable position having to save this knight. So for example, bishop d2, and then b6, and then b4, and then you have to play like this, which is terrible. You don't want to have your knight here and blocking in the bishop like this. So we don't have knight a5. The best move is to just go back to e7. It looks very passive, but at the very least, the knight is more or less safe there. Black went forward with a knight. So in general, in chess, before you move a knight, you want to always ask where it can move in the future. So let's say you move the knight here, and then you ask yourself, okay, where can it move if it gets attacked somehow? Well, it can't go here. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, so this is the only square. In fact, a3 is just a very good move now. a3, knight a6, and you can even just chop the knight off, ruining black's pawn structure, maybe castles, and then maybe you can even get more space in the center with the c-pawn, and you're just going to have a very nice game. But white chose to attack the knight with the bishop. Now it's not even an attack on the knight because the knight is already defended by the bishop, so black didn't even need to move the knight and instead develop the bishop. And now we have c3. In general, I would prefer to attack the knight with a flank pawn because you're still keeping a little bit of flexibility with the c-pawn. And overall, it's just a better move to attack with a flank pawn. So we have c3, and then black just did move the knight for whatever reason. Maybe they just didn't even realize that the knight could go back to a6, but they just lost a piece. And now this is actually very important. Don't take the bishop, because if you do take the bishop, the queen wanders into your position, and then you're gonna have a massive headache dealing with that queen. So what I would do, 100%, just play knight c3. You don't need to trade pieces immediately, even if the chess YouTubers say that you should you as soon as possible trade pieces. No, you can just get your pieces out first and then figure it out. Because right now the king is in the center, and you want to first make sure that it can't get attacked easily, because the game is still far from over, and black still has a lot of chances to win, especially when the king is stuck in the center. So knight c3 did not get played, and unfortunately white took, and then queen d2, and now this pawn is hanging with check. Of course black took, and white blocked with the bishop, and here all you need to do is castle. If you castle, there is nothing you need to worry about anymore. But if you don't castle, black might even play queen g4 and attack this g2 pawn, and then it's going to get very annoying if you don't castle. So knight c3, very good move, and now the queen is attacking the g2 pawn, so 100% just castle. But yeah, white did not castle and instead went for a counterattack of some sort, and black castled, getting out of this c7 check. And now if white takes, all they need to do is just move the rook, and yeah, bishop d3, attacking the queen and completely forgetting that the g2 pawn is hanging. And now all of a sudden you have to deal with this kind of thing. How do you save the knight and the rook? There's actually only one move that saves both pieces, and white surprisingly actually found that move. It's queen e2, connecting the rooks and then defending the knight as well. But this is only a temporary defense, because when the center gets opened up somehow, white is going to be in for a very big trouble. Yeah, as soon as e4 is going to be a move that can be played, it's going to be looking very bad for white. Not only does it come with a fork, but as soon as the pawn takes, the rook gets opened up for the king, and it's just very bad. In fact, how do you even deal with knight g4 attacking f2? Like, this pawn is being attacked. If you move the king, the rook is gonna be hanging. Yeah, queen e1. Having to move back the queen one square to defend this. But as you can really see, it's just not a nice position to play here for white. You're just constantly having to be on your toes, and always going to have to look out for your opponent's threats and whatnot. So yeah, white could have avoided this completely by castling, but yeah, we have c6, and then knight jumps into c7. And now what I would do is number one, find a way to trade queens. Number two, maybe play d6 and anchor in the knight. Yeah, I would definitely play rook g1 here. There's actually another sneaky move here. Like for example, black moves the rook, and then you can play h3. And h3 looks like a move, it does nothing, but all of a sudden the queen is getting trapped. Yeah, and you can sometimes even catch your opponents like this, just completely ignoring your threats, which is very common at this rating range. So instead, the white just played bishop f5 and blundered a piece in one move, right? So yeah, I would definitely still play h3 and then maybe rook g1 or rook g1 right now. So, either one of those two moves. And instead white took. Yeah, this is very bad. You don't want to take, because not only when black takes, like some file is going to be opened up, and guess what, your queen is in the center, so you're gonna be at a disadvantage. And also when black takes with the b pawn, d5 is going to become a move, and then you're just going to get rolled in the center because your king is in the center as well. It's very bad. Also, the bishop gets opened up, so you're gonna have to deal with all that. Yeah, and finally, white played rook g1. Black moved the queen back, and now b4. I can't really explain what b4 does, but it's not a good move. Let's just say that. Should definitely do something about the king in the center. And then queen h5. And the idea of queen h5 is actually very sneaky. You're pinning the knight, and then next move we're going to play knight d4, and knight d4 is just straight up devastating. You can't do anything about the knight coming to d4. Not only will you be losing a knight, but also you're probably gonna get checkmated as well. Who knows, right? So white played queen b2, whatever that does, and knight d4 check. Yeah, and the queen took the knight with check, and it's very bad. If you go to d2, I think you can just take the pawn with check, and then the king has to move again. Probably still better than going to c4, because when you go to c4, it's going to be d5. Yeah, and the other move is to go to c1 with the king. And I think that's probably just the best move that you can play. Unfortunately, white voluntarily went to c4, and when the king is in the center with all these pieces, it's only a matter of time when the king gets checkmated. So d5 check, very good move. King c5. Then we have this check, and then exchange, and yeah, and the white king is already deep into the territory of black. It's just a couple moves away from checkmate. So rook e8, defending the bishop, check, rook d1, check, and checkmate. Yeah, this is actually the only move, because the queen is controlling this square and the pawn is controlling this. Yeah. And this is exactly why you should castle early. If white would have just played one move differently, which was kingside castling, all of this would not have happened. Definitely not. And I would actually go as far to say white would have probably won that game, being up a piece. Yeah, this just goes to show, even if you blunder a piece, you're at this rating range, you still have all the chances to come back from the game. What you can take away from this game is always look out for your opponent's counterplay. And second, don't weaken your king safety. If this helps you with your own chess games, consider subscribing. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.